What's going on, guys? Chad Christopher. Welcome back to another woodworking video. Today we've got something that's been in the works for a very long time, man. It's been a goal of mine for a very long time to build a dining room table for our new house. And to be honest, I could not be more happy with the way this thing turned out. I know the baby girl is stoked on the way this thing turned out. And I mean, it's just in time for Thanksgiving. So to give you an idea on the build, this tabletop is about 38 inches wide by 72 inches long and about 30 inches off the ground. We went for that farmhouse kind of rustic style. So we distressed the paint on the legs on the bottom there, went with that X-spray style. And then the top tabletop here is all made out of redwood. So like I said, super happy with the way this came out. This video that's coming up here is not so much an instructional step-by-step how-to on how to build this, although I do try to lay out every step I'm doing, but it's just more of a chronicling of the journey of the build of this thing. If you are interested in more of a step-by-step instructional guide on how to build this thing, I'm gonna do my best to put together some plans. I think that'll be cool. So there'll be a link to those plans down in the video description below. The other thing is, if you're local, man, I'd love to build one of these for you. I'd love to do some custom projects for you or something like that. So definitely hit me up. All that information will be down in the video description below. We've got a very chatterbox of a little girl over here, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this talking section. Enjoy the journey, man. Check it out. Let's dive in. All right, guys, so here we are in the table build. Now we're pretty deep into this table build, and the reason I wanted to start here is because I'm gonna show some footage of how we got to this point, but there's a couple things I wanna change. So anyways, to start out with, what we did was we created these X-brace legs. Now we went for that X-brace kind of style, and what I ended up doing is taking two 4x4s, and then we just cut them with a 45-degree angle on each side. And then we did sort of, I think they're called lap joints. You just kind of take out, half of the 2x4, and so that these can kind of fit inside of each other.
From the south side, we warriors. My bloodline vainglorious. My storyline victorious. Ain't just me, it's more of us, and we out here. We out here. We all in, no doubt here. Chase money bags, no clout here. Go dead in, no route here. From the south side, we warriors. My bloodline vainglorious. My storyline victorious. Ain't just me, it's more of us, and we out here. We out here. We all in, no doubt here. Chase money bags, no clout here. Go dead in, no route here. That flow potent, go slow motion.
So once I got those two X-brace legs done, I took another 4x4 and then I ran it across the center for some extra support. And then we did some pocket holes here in addition to glue to make everything pretty solid. Now, these legs are 27 inches high. So I kept the legs a little bit long intentionally so that we could take some off the top and bottom so that we can try and get this X as close to the center as possible, as well as being able to trim down these tops and bottoms to get it, pretty level. From that point, I stained the legs and then I painted them white, as you can see. And then I'm gonna go through with a little bit of sandpaper and just kind of rough up some of this paint to give it a little bit more of that distressed look, and then hopefully we can see that stain coming through from below. Now, moving on to the tabletop itself, we have 5 total 2x8s. We started with 4, but I decided I wanted to add one extra one for a little bit more width, as well as being able to accommodate the X-brace legs going out as far as they did. So we took the boards here, we ran it through a planer so that we can get everything nice and level on top. And then I went around with some 2x4s to kind of create a perimeter here. We cut those at 45-degree angles, and then we also ran those through the planer to match up.
I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything. Now you be surprised at the info you get is by letting them talk, so I'm letting them talk. Gotta keep quiet, maneuver in silence, then let them in, chalk up their body, another one body, that's just how it go. I got some secrets, I'm shaking the game so they stay on their toes. Stay in your lane, how to stay on the go. I can play with the pros and act like a rookie, so they overlook me. Then I double up again under their nose. None of them cold, they just got lucky but never adapted. So I'm 10-1 if it's coming to blows. My enemies cutting it close. I let them think that they got me, but what do you know? I had them beat before we ever spoke. I'm ready for smoke. I need to know everything, who and the what and the where. I need everything.
And then to attach the 2x4s here, we just did pocket holes along the sides, and then we did glue on these 2x8s to keep them together. And then there will be these braces running across the middle here. So we've got one brace, and then where those legs meet up here, we're also gonna have a brace here and a brace there, and that's how we're gonna attach the legs as well as give the middle a little bit more support. Once I got these 2x4s all attached up, you know, I measured them really well. I really took my time, and they were lining up great until I started gluing things and stuff, until I started you know, screwing them in and stuff. And then as you can see, like, you know, these corners here, they're just not matching up. The boards are a little bit loose. Like, it's not how I want it to look. These are definitely a little bit bowed, as well as the sides of these 2x8s. You know, they've just got that rounded factory edge. So that brings us to where we're at today. So my goal here is I'm gonna actually take all these edges off. I'm gonna unscrew all the pocket holes and stuff like that. And then I'm gonna take a circular saw and just run a straight line across all 4 of these edges of the 2x8s. So at least we have a straight line that we're working with there, just a flat straight line, and we're not working with kind of that rounded factory edge. And then I'm gonna try and butt these back up and see if they're lining up. If they are, I think we're gonna go ahead and move forward with getting these reattached. I want the corners to match up. You know, that's a pretty obvious indicator that the table isn't up to standards if those corners are like all jacked up. So anyways, that's today's goal, is to get these corners all pretty again. So yeah, let's get these things off. Okay, so we squared up these sides as much as we possibly could. We're throwing glue on the 2 long sides here, but I mean, there's still definitely a fair amount of bow going on with this one. We got some giant pipe clamps. We're going to just lock these sides in with those clamps. And then we're gonna put on the 2 ends, and or at least one of the end. We got these little 45 clamps. So much sawdust. And yeah, we're gonna go from there. Okay, so we're gonna call it a day today. So this is the underside of the table. We glued those on, we clamped them, but these are like so bowed, that they're just like, we could not get them to line up underneath. So we've got a couple clamps holding this side together, and this side we got pretty dang level. That other side though, we're like, I don't know if you can see it or not under here. Nope. Yeah, so you can see there's a little bit of overhang right there. So I don't know, next time we get in here, we're probably gonna have to figure something out, saw that off, I don't know. But one side is perfect. We'll figure this out, and then who knows what we're gonna do about these edges. Kyle always rolling before we communicate that he's rolling. What's going on, guys? We are back in the studio. I'm gonna be honest with you, I completely forgot how many days this is. Probably like 6 or 7 by now. But we can finally see the light at the end of the tunnel. So when we came in today, we had these sides all glued on. These ends matched up really dang well. I wish I could lie to you and tell you that I did all this magic to make them line up, but I don't know, we got lucky. They lined up, they look beautiful. So I screwed those pocket holes in. Here we are, put some glue and pocket holes on. And really that's all I've done today. So we flipped it over to check out the top, and everything's really pretty good. The seams are a little bit off, so I'm gonna take a hand planer across this whole thing to flatten it all out. The only wild card is right here. This edge board has like a really deep kind of bow in it. And yeah, I mean, we have a pretty decent amount of ledge right here. And I'll be honest with you, I have no idea what to do about that. So that's priority number one. And then we are planing this thing down, sanding it all down. And then the legs, I don't know if you can see on that camera or not, but I did a little bit of testing with some sandpaper. I was kind of sanding some of this off, and I think it's giving us that look we're going for. So I feel really good about that. And then we're gonna get this thing stained up, and my goodness, guys, we got a kitchen table. I'm feeling really good though. This thing is the only thing that's throwing us for a loop right now. So let's figure that out. Let's go. So that is dead smooth, dead flush. I mean, we have a little bit of, a couple things to kind of sand out, but that is significantly better than what we were looking at. So I just took the planer and I went over it a couple times. I tried to kind of feather it up. So we've got a couple ridges here that need to be sanded out, but overall, very, very happy with the results. So yeah, dead flush here. So I'm just gonna take the planer now, run it across the entire thing. Some of these joints aren't quite matching up, things like that. So we have a nice level playing field. We'll hit it with the sander. We'll go from there, baby. We were taking turns sanding this thing, and I was just kind of standing over there, and Kyle saw me looking all goofy, and he's like, what's going on? And I was like, honestly, it's cool to see this thing coming together. Like, it's been so much grief over the past couple of weeks. Like, it's kept me up at night stressing about this table. And it's, like I said, it's really cool to see the light at the end of the tunnel. We're getting super close. We've been sanding, like I said, we just put a little bit of wood filler in some of these cracks. Hopefully that helps out a bit. When we come in the next time, we're gonna sand down those legs, sand out this top. We're gonna attach the 2x4s that are gonna hook the two together. And then it's time for finishing work, man. We're gonna get it stained up and looking pretty. And then we'll see what the wife thinks. We'll see if she approves. So, yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. I planed the tops of these here to get them all straight, ran some sandpaper over them, and then I also took a router and rounded these edges a little bit. You know, I think when you're sitting at the dining room table or whatever, and you're just kind of running your fingers along the bottom of the table, I don't want, to get splinters or anything like that. So I think that just gives it a little bit nicer, cleaner look. Kyle's been sanding his life away over here on the legs, making them look all distressed. But yeah, I'm gonna round the edges of the top as well, and then get some stain on them, but we're really close, man. All right, take one last look at the table there. That is the last look before stain goes on. It looks really good. We're putting some pre-stain on right now, and I'll put the first layer of stain on. Never used pre-stain before, but says it's supposed to help just keep everything uniform, so you're not getting blotches and stuff like that. All right, guys, well, the day has finally come. I don't know that I ever thought that this was going to be completed. And now that it's here, now that it's in my dining room, it's absolutely mind-blowing, man. I could not be happier with this build. I know you're happy with it, huh? And man, we're stoked on it. So to give you an idea of what we did to finish it up, I ran 2 coats of Minwax's special walnut stain over it, and then we used Minwax's satin, that's what it's called, right? We finished it with 3 coats of the satin Minwax finishing coat. So it's got a little bit of shine on it, but it's not too bad. It's not so much that you know, you're gonna have to worry about a ton of dust or fingerprints or anything like that, but it's still got a little bit of that shine that I wanted. So, in any case, super stoked on the way this table came out. I hope you guys enjoyed the journey, the full-on journey that it took to create this thing. And man, I'm stoked to build some more of these. Like, I got to thinking about it, and that first build was a lot of experimenting. We learned a lot of things, but moving forward, I'm pretty confident in my ability to like rebuild something similar to this. So with all that being said, if you guys enjoyed this video, please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. It was just a stupid amount of work. I'm very, very proud of this. Subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. I might have addressed this at the beginning, I'm not sure. I'm hoping to put plans together for this build, so if you want to build along with me, I've got those plans down in the video description below, hopefully. And additionally, if you're local and you're looking for a table, hit me up, because I think we're going to start doing some custom builds as we go, and that would make me incredibly happy to be able to build some stuff for you guys. So thank you so much for watching. Give a hand to Kyle down in the comments below for editing this monstrosity of a video. I handed him like, I don't even, hundreds of gigs of footage, and the dude put it together. Video looks awesome. Thank you so much to him. Thank you so much to you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Baby girl's talking up a storm, so I'm gonna go ahead and end it right here. Peace out, guys. Catch you next time for some more Chad Christopher woodworking. Peace out.